You guys, since I entered college, I have gotten an A in every single theory or essay exam that I've ever written, and in some courses I got over 95% in the exam. You guys, that is a mad feat, because if you write theory exams a lot, you will know that you don't normally score almost 100%, because the lecturers love to say that as an undergraduate student you cannot know everything. There is still room for improvement, so they usually don't score you very high in essay exams. It's just like standard protocol. But you guys, I'm going to be telling you guys in this video my experiences, how I broke that barrier, how I answered my questions so good that they just had to give me that score. So if you've ever been wondering how do I write theory exams perfectly so that I can score really high, or perhaps you've just been struggling with writing essay exams and you've been scoring low, you've been reading so much and it now feels like the rate at which you are reading does not mirror the rate at which you are passing your exams, well, this video is for you, you guys. I came ready for you, I came prepared. My next tip for you guys is reading the instruction properly. You guys, I don't flout this at all, because it might cost you. You can go on and on and on about writing what you want, but if that's not what the lecturer asked you to do or your professor asked you to do in the exam, you can write all you want to write. You can write 20 pages of nonsense. You can be writing out of points. And I don't flout these instructions at all. I take my time. I understand what the lecturer wants. I try to understand the mind of the lecturer. He has said this question before in class, and he has given us tips on how to answer this kind of questions when we see it in the exam. I try to understand the mind of the lecturer, what he wants from us, exact word for word question from a textbook that he gave us to study. So I will answer the question exactly the way he explained it in class or the way it was in my textbook. I don't veer off points. The instruction says I should list and then discuss. I will not just go on to discuss. I will first of all list and then discuss. I follow the instructions to the latter, because perhaps not listing and just going ahead to discuss it might make you lose some points that we don't want to lose. So I follow every single instruction. I read it properly, I follow it. It says exhaustively discuss the concept of biochemistry, for example. I'm not going to write 3 lines because I've heard the word exhaustively discuss. So I'm thinking of 3 to 7 pages or 5 to 7 pages until I exhaust every single thing that I can possibly discuss on that topic, as long as I don't exceed the time limit that I've set for that particular question. So because I'm following every single instruction to the latter, because I've learned from a lot of bad experiences about not following instructions. You can write all the things you want to write, as long as it's not what the lecturer wants, you're writing out of points. That's so sad and so painful, because you have spent time, you have spent energy. The lecturer that's going to mark it, and if that's not what he wants, then that's just it. That's zero. That's failure, which is what we don't want. So always read the instruction, always go over it. You need it, it's very important. My next tip for you guys is pulling out fear. You guys, if you're allowed to choose your seat in the exam, then chances are you should not sit down close to the invigilator if you know that seeing them that close up to you is gonna scare you. Okay? Around familiar faces, people you normally read with, or people that you sit down in class with, people that you sit down in class with, basically people that you know, just sit them around them. Familiar faces helps a lot. Familiar faces help a lot, like they do. That I sit down with my friends during the exams, because just seeing their faces help me calm down and tell me that everything is gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. Okay. I don't sit down with people that I've not sat down with before in the exam. The exam is unknown. People around me are unknown. Everything is unknown. I start to get scared. I start to get anxious. So I want to calm down that fear by surrounding myself with people that I know, with familiar faces. Another way to calm down fear is just to do a mental warm-up. Mind yourself of all the things you've studied, what your parents have told you, all the advices, all the prayers, all the spiritual meetings. Just remember, just get your brain on top of there. Get your psychology up there so that you are feeling really good. Just make yourself feel real good, alright? Because you've studied, you have put in the work. This is your reaping moment. Don't cheat your own self. Don't make fear make you cheat your own self out of your reaping moment. You have been sowing since day one, since first day of school. You've been reading, right? This is a sowing moment to outshine, to shine out. Do not let fear cheat you of that. That would be very painful and very sad. That's happened to me so many times. See guys, I posted a video on how I got blank in an exam hall. You guys should go watch that out. I will link it down in the description box below, because I talk about how I got totally blank in an exam. And guys, try to cancel that fear as much as possible, because you've read, you've done the work. It will be so sad if fear takes that away from you. My next tip for you guys is a calculation before essay. You guys always answer calculations questions first before theory questions. For instance, if in 7 questions I was given an exam to answer 5, 4 out of those questions were calculation questions and the other 3 were non-calculation questions, chances are I will pick all 4 calculation questions and pick just 1 theory question. So you guys always pick calculation questions over normal theory questions. And guys, if I'm doing a course and I know that this course has a lot of calculation, I will make it my point of duty to study every single calculation in that course before I even study the theory aspects of that course. I will make sure I understand all the rudiments of all the calculations in that course before I enter into the exam hall, because you guys, you can get 20 over 20 in a calculation question, but most times you cannot get up to 19 or 18 over 20 in the theory questions. Here's why. Because the answers are fixed. I mean, even if the dullest person in the world comes to come and solve that question, or the most brilliant person in the world, Albert Einstein, comes to come and solve that same question, they're gonna get the same answer, because the answer, if the answer is 20, is 20. It can't be 20 and a half, can't be 18. So chances are they're gonna give you all the mark if you get the right answer. The answer is never gonna change. Even if the most brilliant person in the world comes to come and solve it different, they must still get that same answer. So chances are they can get everything over everything in a calculation question. But you guys, in a theory question, it's not always not like that, because they believe that there can still be improvement that can be made to that question, to the answers, or to the way you answer that question. So they're not going to give you everything over everything. So I answer as much calculation questions as I see in the exam as much as possible. So I make sure that I know all the calculation questions before that actual exam. So calculations, they always take the cake for you before theory actual normal questions. Plus, calculation questions saves time, which is what we want. We want to save time to be able to answer the other questions that we have. So in general, calculation questions always help boost your score. And you guys, do you want to know how I answer my calculation questions? Oh my god, I answer calculation questions as if it were a theory question in itself. I outline every single step. I don't jump any single thing. Like, I outline it as if I were talking to a baby, as if I were explaining it to someone that has never ever seen that calculation before in their life. After every step, I write out the theory aspect. Like, I write out what I just performed in that step. I cross multiplied, I'm going to write it out. If I found the secret of the formula, I'm going to write it out. I'll say the law, the necessary theories. I outline every single thing. Exam as a law court. Like, I'm the lawyer. I'm trying to prove to the judge why I should get an A in this course. So I don't leave any stone unturned. I don't assume that lecturer already knows this, I don't need to write this anymore. I don't care if he knows it. I'm gonna outline every single thing. That way he knows that this person knows the root of the course, knows it very well, to the very core. Girl, you want to prove to the lecturer that you have been reading since the first day of school. So we're going to do all that in 3 hours. And I'm super fast in the exam. I don't have the time to wait and think and adjust my tie and adjust my color. I don't go to ease myself. I don't drink water. I'm on a mission, you guys, to get an A, to prove to lecturers I deserve an A in this course. I'm super fast. I'm very efficient. I'm very effective.